We need all our listeners and subscribers to check their clouds because last week we did an episode that was easily our best episode yet. We had a topic. We were focused. It was like an hour long. We were in and out. It was high quality stuff. Good discussion. We talked about Columbia University for like 20 minutes, and neither of us know anything about it. And then the episode went into the cloud, and it never came back out. It never rained down. So if everyone at home could just check their clouds, it might be in there. Let us know. Leave a comment.
Specifically, if you have a Zoom cloud, I think that's where I put it.
Yeah, I don't know enough about clouds to know if the Zoom clouds interact with the other clouds.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing. The worst part is we have a third person that was supposed to be a part of this podcast that literally works in the cloud. And
that's true. I think
he's not
building
is the cloud.
Entire building that who's like whatevering on, servicing, maintaining is like it's a cloud building, I think.
Yeah, and you'd think we'd have like, hey, dude, can you look around?
Just like, move some desks and see if it just got accidentally left in the corner, because I don't know how much an hour of recording data looks like in a cloud. I don't know if it's like a speck of dust or something, but
probably a couple of droplets.
Just check. It wouldn't hurt to check. He's apparently there all the time anyway.
Yeah. I think he might live there.
So what's today's topic?
All right. So we're talking about baseball today. I'm actually watching baseball. San Francisco's playing. Go Giants, I guess.
Who are they playing?
Rangers. Rangers have an ugly stadium, so.
Yeah, they do. Everyone's like, it looks like a Home Depot. You know what's funny, too? Is I saw pictures of the stadium, and then I saw pictures of the drawing of what it was supposed to be, and I was like, it kind of looks like the drawing, guys. Like,
yeah, like this is what they wanted.
It kind of got the guy wrote it down, and it looks like a Home Depot. I don't know what you want. It's ugly.
Yeah, but that's the worst part is like they wanted this.
I know, it's bad. Well,
all right. So we're gonna go through.
Well, first I want to know if you picked a baseball team yet.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. Well, if that's where we're gonna start, we should start with our favorite teams in the NL West.
Okay.
Because here's the thing about the NL West: the two teams the team that I want to be a fan of and the team that I accidentally cheer for all the time are both in the NL West. And
I'm obsessed with my NL West pick. Secretly. I've never told anybody. This will be the first time publicly I've ever told anybody. Yeah.
All right, so I'll let you go first, and then that way I can rant about mine.
All right. NL West.
Can I guess yours? Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it the Rockies?
No, dude.
Oh, good choice. Who likes the Rockies?
I'm like anti-Denver guy now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Dude, everyone from my hometown. You know how many people from like my graduating class are all living in Denver? And it's just like, I actually just stayed with people on the way down here. I stayed with people on the way down here who I knew. And they're from Kentucky. And it's like, oh, how'd you guys come out here? And they're like, it's just like this classic Midwest thing. I've heard this so many times. They're like, we just looked at a map and decided to move to Denver because it's like the cool hip city. Denver has no personality in its downtown. It's a big dusty field, okay, for like 90% of the year. There's like tumbleweeds and stuff rolling past. All the beautiful shots of the mountains that you see when they scan over the stadium during the game, those mountains are there, but they are farther freaking away than they look. You know how they always show, when you're looking at Seattle, they always show Mount Rainier. Like, yeah, you can see Mount Rainier from Seattle. It's also a 3-hour drive away. Yeah. So, I'm like anti-Denver guy. No, it's not the Rockies. It's the San Diego Padres.
They have cool uniforms, so.
First of all, they have the coolest uniforms. Second coolest uniforms. They have good uniforms. I love the color scheme. I'm a Wyoming grad. Brown and gold all the way. I love their logo of the Padres swinging the baseball bat. That's just like hilarious. And ever since we went to San Diego that one time where we escaped the submarine for like 38 hours and I was allowed off, which was, fun fact, the literal one time I did anything liberty-wise on the submarine. I really liked it. We had a good time, but, we were barely there. So I've always wanted to go back, and it just seems like a cool city. Also, Mendoza. Always talk about how great San Diego was. Casadoza. And we should have him on as a guest.
Yeah, the legend himself.
Yeah. He can't tell the stories though now. He's got like 3 kids. But he worked at a restaurant down there by the stadium, and he was always telling me how cool it is and stuff like that. So I went Padres.
This is kind of off topic, but speaking of people who we should have on, you want to have an interesting episode, maybe not very good, but interesting for sure. We could always invite ETN on.
Oh yeah, that would. I don't know where that would go. He's like,
we'll just label it as like not safe for work, and then invite ETN on and see what happens.
I think unless I just like don't have him anymore, I don't see him on Twitter or anything anymore. He changed his name.
I only talk to him on Snapchat.
Oh, see.
And it's only like he's a firefighter now, so every once in a while you like a random firefighter picture, and that's it. Like nothing. Or he'll send me a video just screaming. He's just screaming incoherent things at the phone, and then like that's it.
That sounds right. That's probably how the podcast would be, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. What was I gonna say? Oh, and for some reason, my dad had a Padres like 1997 AL West champions T-shirt, and I got that. And I wore it as a hand-me-down in high school, and it was back when they were orange and blue. It was 2 color schemes ago, because before they were like tan and blue, which is weird, but I used to wear that shirt, and I don't know, the Padres just seem kind of cool. It's also a cool name. I'm surprised they haven't been pressured to change it, to be honest.
Why?
Because Padres is a reference to the mission system, and people hate the mission system because they went around and were like, you're Catholic now.
That's cool.
Dude, I'm into that stuff. I love going to see that kind of stuff. We went to an actual, no joke, Mexican mission in Mexico, and it was like one of the coolest things we did.
You should go to San Javier mission in Tucson whenever you're back down there.
I looked it up recently. I don't know why I was looking at stuff in Tucson, but I looked it up recently, and yes, that is way big and really cool looking.
It looks bigger than it actually is, but if you go on a Sunday, I think. One of the weekend days. I think Saturday or Sunday, definitely, in the morning, because they have like all the fry bread stands out front, and it's so good. You go and you like, they all sell the same thing, but there's like 12 of them, and you just pick whichever one you want. And they'll make you like a fry bread with the red, like the chili, like carne con chile. Fry bread, you eat one of those, and then when you're done with that, you go back and you get one of the sweet ones with like honey or powdered sugar, depending on what you want. It's so good.
That sounds amazing, and I definitely want to do that, and I definitely want to spend more time in Tucson. And Cordova said that next time I'm on Tucson, I don't remember, he sent a Snapchat of food like he does, and I was like, man, that looks so good. And he was like, you come down to Tucson, it's on me. And I was like, all right, I'll have to do that. But
I was just talking to him. He's coming to visit me in September.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that would be fun. Cool. Do you guys have like specific plans?
No, we were just actually talking about it like 10 minutes ago. So but I think he already got his ticket, so we'll see. Hopefully the Navy, hopefully the Navy's like, hey, yeah, you're allowed to go outside your home.
Every time I eat ice cream, I have to do this because my mustache is so long. It's literally impossible not to get ice cream in it. So sorry, everybody. Last thing about that fried bread reminded me of, before we went into the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe in Mexico City, there was this old lady, and she was basically making these like mini pancakes. They were like that big around, and they were just like pancakes, and she would stack them up, and you'd buy a stack of like 6 of them for like $1, and you just walk around and you eat mini pancakes. They were super good.
Dude, people who go to different countries and like eat at, you know, hard rock cafes and, stay in the touristy areas, like I just don't understand. Like maybe that's your thing, but I don't understand it. Like
We definitely didn't stay in the touristy areas of Mexico when we went there, but I will say I felt a bit lacking on those types of experiences because the people we were with were very nice and very gracious, but they were also very protective of us. And so it was like, we will not be eating street food, right? And it's like, oh man, like that's my thing. And it's like, we will not be going there. And when we are going here, we will be in the group. And like, it was very, which I appreciate, but it was a little much for me. China was the exact opposite. And that, I was just talking to my friend Jake, who I went to see in China. I was reflecting on that experience. And that was as opposite as you could get. Like, it was just like free reign, and I'll tell the story sometime, but we ended up in police stations and we were eating street food at 2 a.m. and we were getting rides from random people, and Jamie and I got lost in a taxi because we couldn't speak to the guy and he was afraid to say he didn't know where he was going, and it was a good time. So long story short, I want to go back to Mexico. I want to visit the smaller places and I want to get a little more authentic.
yeah, my friend / neighbor here, he wants to go down too, and we want to go down. And their family, both him and his wife, their families are actually from down there. So like, she came from like a town of like 100 people, where they like, every time they have like a quinceañera or a wedding or something, they like kill a goat or something. And they have a party in the streets. They shut down the whole town of both streets. All 2 streets get shut down, and
Yeah.
the party actually happens like in the streets, which
awesome.
is so like they want to go down there, and I definitely want to go to. I don't know. Have you seen? So this whole thing started with. Have you watched the Taco Chronicles on Netflix?
No, not yet. You told me to.
Yeah. Well, it started with that. So we're like, do we have to go to all these places and try all these tacos all over the place? Because that's the plan. So we want to go to at least Mexico City. I want to go to Michoacan, but everyone tells me not to go there because apparently they kill everyone there. But whatever.
Where's that?
Yeah. Michoacan?
Yeah.
It's in central Mexico.
Central Mexico.
That's where carnitas are from.
Oh, okay. I want
They
to
make
go
the
to
best
where
carnitas.
your family on the west side there.
In
right?
in Ensenada, Baja, Baja California. Yeah, they have really good food there. We should go down there.
You told me it was just like a week of drinking and eating, and I was like, I mean, we talked about it when I was in Tucson. I'm down, man. I'd like to do that for sure. I also want to go back to Mexico City because, like, when Jamie and I do vacation, it's fun. It's not relaxing. It is like work. Like when we went to Europe, we went for 19 days and we walked most of the way, right? It was just like, we're doing this and we're doing this, we're getting after it. What happened? What's wrong?
Some guy just fouled a ball directly into his ankle.
Ow, that hurts.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, he immediately toppled over.
So when we were in Mexico City, we did stuff like every single day. We were out doing stuff. And then when I got home, I looked at the map and the overhead view of the map of all the places we went. And Mexico City is like this big on the map. And we went like here. And we were like doing every day we did something. And I felt like we barely saw the city because it's so huge, dude. It's like the biggest city in North America.
Yeah, it's enormous.
It's like
they have like a huge Central Park type thing, but it's like bigger. They got a whole forest.
Dude, I went there. I went there. The old Chapultepec.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the old mansion there of El Presidito. He used to live there. We checked that out. Yeah.
That's dope.
I've been up in Chapultepec. That's the first time we got the fresh chips where they put the hot sauce on, they squirt the lime on it. We ate crickets in Chapultepec.
Like you do.
And do you know about the Mayan pole swinging dudes?
I don't think so.
There's these dudes and they climb up on this tower, and at the top there's this rotating platform. And there's a guy who sits up there banging a drum. Pop, 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 pop. And there's these other guys playing a flute. and these guys walk up with their own ropes, and they like tie their ankles up in their own rope, and then they jump off of it, and the thing swings, and they slowly let more and more and more of the rope out until they're on the ground.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I want to go see
And then
stuff
they
like
walk
that.
around, and then they walk around and ask for money.
Yeah, me and Marina really like all the culture stuff, so we definitely want to go see all the cool stuff.
Oh, I should bring it up because I don't remember now, but there's an area called El Circolo, right? And there's this huge Catholic church there that I don't remember the name of that we went into, but then to the right, there's all these ancient unearthed ruins. And you can pay and you can go walk through all the ruins and see them all. And they're all like exposed and dug up, and they're right there. And there's all this interpret stuff, and you can see it all. It's like, it's not so like, I feel like a museum in the United States would be very like controlled and stuff like that, but you can just like walk through it. It's really cool. And it was really interesting because they profile you. They're like, if you're a foreigner, get in that line and you have to pay more. If you're a student in Mexico, get in that line, it's free. And then if you're a Mexican, you can get in this line and it's
and somewhere in the middle.
They looked at us and they were like, that line, like you're getting in that
You're
line.
not even.
I was like, you know what, fair enough. I didn't care, but I also thought like that would be really interesting in America if it's like, oh, you want to see the Grand Canyon? How American do you look? Back of the line, buddy. But anyway, all right, that was a long way to say that I like the Padres.
Yeah. So you like the Padres, huh?
Yeah. At this rate, we'll be done in 7 hours.
All right. So I guess I'll rant now. It's not even that long of a rant. I really want, classic snow. That's not snow. That's ice cream. Classic ice cream on the beard.
No.
I really want to cheer for the Diamondbacks. You know, I don't have like the University of Arizona. Oh, also check out, dude, San Diego Zoo.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's right.
I was there when you brought that.
Yeah. All right. So you like the Padres? Cool.
Take two.
But I really want to cheer for the Diamondbacks. You know, I feel like that's who I should be cheering for. You know, I watched them win the World Series. I still remember that.
You're Rios, you love Arizona.
I'm Rios, I love Arizona, and I like the only other Arizona team I cheer for is the University of Arizona. So I figured, I should cheer for some professional team. And I try to, but every time I see the Dodgers on TV, I end up cheering for the Dodgers. Like, I was watching the Diamondbacks play the Dodgers yesterday, and I was like, the Dodgers hit a home run. I was like, yes. I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's not. That's not what I'm cheering for. So,
well,
I want to be a Diamondbacks fan, but I think I'm low-key a Dodgers fan. And Marina hates the Dodgers.
Oh,
I think, yeah. So she.
Yeah, what is she?
I think she actually likes the Diamondbacks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I get that, and if there's a good time to join the Dodgers bandwagon, now would be a good time. They're like,
and I hate the Astros. I hate them so much.
Dude, me too. I don't even want to get into it. That could be his own podcast. Just Joe Kelly, dude, put him in the Hall of Fame.
He's awesome.
Absolute hero. You see what he got on Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, so good. All right. You're a Dodgers fan, and they're your favorite team in the NL West.
Yeah, I think so. Let's roll with it.
So you
might as well. I'm an LA fan.
That's true. So yeah, that's a good point. The only team you cheer for in the state of Arizona is the University of Arizona.
I think so.
That's pretty funny.
The worst part is, like, a lot of my favorite baseball players ever are Diamondbacks, just because I grew up watching them.
Yeah.
Like, I love, obviously, Randy, the big unit. Probably my favorite pitcher ever.
Schilling.
Kurt Schilling. Greg Counsell. I do the legend.
Greg Counsell.
Best stance ever.
14 feet above his head.
He's the best. But he's in a power spot. My dad always
used to be really freaked out about that guy. It's so funny.
He's like, what is he doing?
Yeah, he's like, look at this guy. Look at that guy's up. He doesn't know anything about baseball. He's like, that guy's up again. That is weird. He's right. All right, let's move
Yeah.
to the Central. I'll go first. This is easy. My favorite team's the Reds. I'm a Reds fan. I'm a sad Reds fan. The Reds are terrible. They're my favorite team. I started listening to the Reds on the radio, falling asleep at night on 1260 WNDE Indianapolis in 2005. That's when I got into baseball for real. I'm a Reds fan. There you go.
Cool. Oh, it's easy for me too. That I'm not a Reds fan, but that is my favorite team in the Central. So we'll go with that.
Been to the game. You've taken
I've
the
been to a game.
experience.
I like the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of my favorite baseball hats is a Reds hat
Oh.
that I got at the stadium. And I don't know, I guess Joey Votto's pretty cool. Let's roll with that.
Joey Votto's great. Let's not talk about the Reds anymore. They lost to the Tigers again tonight. Okay. The NL East. You go first this time.
All right. So the East, I've always. So this is sad, but for some reason, I like the Mets, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's I like the color scheme.
Oh wait, I'm blowing it.
Just spoiler alert. Oh,
It's
nice.
backwards. Forget it. I want the Mets. One of the things I was like, why do I like them? And one of the things was the color scheme.
Maybe it's because their fan base is sad, like every other team I cheer for. Like
also just like, yeah, it's just my nature to be like, there's the Yankees and the Mets. Well, I'm not gonna cheer for the Yankees because they're good, so I'll cheer for the Mets. It's just like my nature. It's your nature too. So yeah.
Yeah, I
You
don't want to cheer
can't
for a
pick
good
the
team.
Yankees, so you go to the Mets, and I'm not gonna pick the Phillies or the Marlins. Like, there's just no way. So I went Mets too. Shea Stadium was cool.
Never been.
I never been either, and now I never will because it's gone.
Yeah.
But all right, we can move on from that. We went the Mets.
All right, cool.
I don't feel very passionately about them, but I like.
No, me neither. Actually, I almost went Nats, and only because I found myself cheering very hard for them in the last World Series. Like I was all in on the Nats.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't actually like them that much. I just like that they
Right.
were beating the Astros. So
it was situational.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, there was a while when
West. I
was actually a while when I was trying to decide what my favorite team was, and I was like, maybe the Mets. That's cool. But I was like, nah, it's too sad. All right.
Yeah.
All right. AL. You say we're starting in the West?
Yeah, we'll just do West, Central, East again, like we did for the NL. All right. This one is easy for me, and I tell Jamie all the time that I'm a closet Mariners fan because I am a closet Mariners fan. I actually like the Mariners. They have a level of sadness that really speaks well to me. I love Ken Griffey Jr. I had a poster of him in a Reds uniform on my wall growing up. He's one of my favorite players of any sport of all time. And he's a Red in my heart, but he's like a Mariner, you know what I mean? And stadium's cool, downtown's cool. I used to listen to the Mariners games on the radio when I lived in Washington, and it's easy for me. I when the Mariners are on TV, I find myself cheering for them.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, I agree that the stadium's cool,
King
but
Felix.
also the fact, King Felix pretty cool.
So cool.
Slightly
I
over,
love that guy.
But I think it's super cool that you can take a ferry and it drops you off inside the stadium pretty much, and then you're there.
Seattle nailed it with the stadiums are all there, and you can get off the ferry and you can eat and go any sporting events all in one area. It's nice.
Yeah, and you don't have to drive. You can not drive and make it to a baseball game 3 hours away, which is pretty sweet.
For free, you get there.
For free,
you gotta pay back. But we were at a game. I don't know if you were there. I don't know who was there, but Angel was there, and if he was here, we could talk about it. But
I wasn't there, but I heard the story. So.
What story am I going to tell?
Before my time. Is that the King Felix story?
Well, it was just the game was about to start. Maybe you have heard it. It's not really a story. The game was about to start, and they were like, were going to start the game, and they were like, the pitcher for tonight is Felix Hernandez. And they were playing I'm the Man by Aloe Black, which was like a really popular song at the time. And they freaking opened the gates to the bullpen, and he just like slow walked to the mound all the way across center field, left field. And I was just like, that baseball is not my favorite sport, but like being a pitcher in baseball is like the coolest thing ever. And King Felix is the man, and he has the swag. And watching him just walk there while that song was playing and everyone was going nuts, and him just like slowly walking to the mound, I thought it was really awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what? You go Mariners too?
Nope. I like the Athletics.
Dude,
Oakland A's. Oh, dude, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm talking too much. Sorry.
No, it's fine. That's fine. I think they're so cool. You know, I don't know. I feel like they're an underdog all the time, even though lots of times they're actually pretty good. And it's just like, oh, it's that shitty team that plays on the football field in Oakland. Yeah. It's funny because the Raiders are the shitty team that plays on the baseball field in Oakland.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel bad for their fans because they are good, but their owners are just like they're always like the lowest payroll team in baseball. There's been an argument a long time in sports radio about there shouldn't be a salary cap in baseball. There should be a salary floor. Like you have to spend this much money, because if they would just invest into the team, it would be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool
well,
colors.
They played Moneyball like for 2 years and it worked, and they're like, we're just gonna keep doing it forever. And everyone's like,
do it forever.
Everyone else like, well, we're just gonna pay our players, and they're like, no, Moneyball is where it's at. And they're like, we have a movie.
Have you guys heard about Moneyball? Dude, you're totally right. Like they still do it, and it works enough to win 90 games and lose in the wild card.
Exactly. So,
but cool colors, cool logo, dude. I don't spend a lot of money on hats. I always think like if I was rich, that's something I would just start blowing money on is hats. But the 2020 Oakland A's spring training hat is awesome. It's like all green, and it just has the white elephant on the baseball. I
love that. That's the best logo, I think, in baseball almost.
It's the best logo.
It's up there for sure.
It's so good. Yeah. And they're getting a brand new stadium. And I think it's awesome for the city of Oakland because everyone's left them. Okay. The Warriors got too fancy for their own pants and say they moved to San Francisco. The San Francisco 49ers, they moved to Santa Clara. And then anyone who is an Oakland fan still in the area of the actual Raiders, they're leaving. So it's like Oakland has the A's, and they're like they should hold on to them and win something for that city. And their
Oakland
new
fans too. They're just gritty. There's something cool about Oakland fans. I really like it. And another reason I like them, this is kind of weird, but there's a dude from Hermosillo, Sonora, which is where my mom's family is kind of from, same area. And his name is Rubiel Durazo, which Durazo is my mom's family name. And growing up, he played for the Diamondbacks, then he went and played for the A's for a couple of years at the end of his career. But growing up, my whole family would joke around that he was our cousin. And me as a kid, I was convinced. I'm like, dude, that's my cousin, dude. He played for the Diamondbacks, and then he went for the A's. So I was always like a big fan. Like my mom has his jersey because it says Durazo on it. That was her last name. I always thought it was super cool. So I followed him, and I would be like, dude, my cousin plays for the A's, and he wasn't actually my cousin, but I still cheered for him.
How old were you when you found out? You're like, I was 22.
My mom told me yesterday.
Yeah.
I was talking to her about this earlier today, talking how I was gonna tell you about him, and she's like, you know, he's not your cousin, right?
She's like, I need to tell you something before you embarrass yourself on YouTube in front of all your fans.
In front of your fan base.
Yeah, I find it's funny. I cheer. I don't typically cheer for. I don't have a lot of West Coast teams I like, but yeah, the Mariners, the A's, and the Padres I think are all pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, also, I like the A's. I like gritty kind of blue collar, like tough cities. Like you think of Oakland, like that's a tough city. Mm-hmm. Like same way you think of like Pittsburgh, for example, where it's like, oh, Pittsburgh's it's a tough city. You walk around and probably, yeah, exactly. I just think it's cool. So I cheer for them when I see them on TV.
Yeah, I drove as close as possible to the Oakland County Coliseum where the A's play in a vehicle driving through Oakland to see if I could get to the stadium. But the Oakland County Coliseum's here, Oracle Arena's here, and the world's largest parking lot surrounds them. So you can't really get close. Yeah. So that day I struck out on seeing that stadium, and I went to Candlestick Park, which is no longer there, in San Francisco. And I got out, I parked in a neighborhood, I walked, there was nothing going on. I walked to the security guard who was sitting by guarding the empty parking lot, and I was like, can I walk in there and take a picture? And he was like, no. I was like, dude. So I walked up above. There's these, Candlestick Park was down here, and there's this big hill where all these houses are, and I walked, and I could see inside it, but I didn't really get to see them.
In my notes where I was writing down what stadiums I wanted to visit, I wrote at the bottom with a little in parentheses, I wish I could have gone to Candlestick.
Yeah.
So that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. I saw it, but now it's no longer.
Yeah.
Okay, AL Central. This was tough for me. This is probably my toughest one.
This was my second toughest one.
I'll let you go.
The only tougher one was the AL East, which we have coming up. And both of these, it's the same thing. And it's not because I have so many teams that I like. It's just I don't really feel anything for any of these teams.
I was going to say the AL East. The AL East, I don't care about anybody, but we'll get to that. The Essential, I think there's some cool teams. But you go first.
I went with Cleveland. And I don't know. I saw them play that one time. That was pretty cool. I don't know. I like Cleveland. There's really no other reason. I think I just dislike every other team on there more.
Yeah.
I don't care at all about Detroit or Kansas City.
Yeah.
I don't. So yeah, I went with Cleveland for no reason.
My dad's a fake Royals fan because he does not care about baseball. But if you ask him, he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a Royals fan." It's like, are you? But he has this blue corduroy Royals hat that he bought in the 80s, and it's the coolest hat ever. It's actually fabric corduroy pants material, and I've always thought the Royals were kind of fun, lovable losers. I like the Twins. I think I don't know. They played in that ugly ass dome and
the big dome. Yeah,
just they're just
gross.
Funny.
It's kind of dark.
It's they played in a dome that had a giant white roof tarp, and no one could see fly balls because it was a white baseball against the roof. And they played on that AstroTurf where they just put some buckets of dirt at first base. It was just anyway. I went with the White Sox. It's kind of back to the Mets thing. It's like if I was thinking about a team in Chicago, it's like I might be a Cubs fan. I actually very much dislike the Cubs, so it's the White Sox, the gritty South Side. We kind of talked about that too, the gritty part of Chicago, the South Side of Chicago where all the heart is. And we went to a game there, and
park in some random neighborhood and walk through walk across a bridge and through some random projects to get to the stadium.
I think there were railroad tracks involved. I don't know, but we made it eventually, and that was cool. And the first year I ever really started paying attention to baseball on my own was the year was 2005 when the White Sox won the World Series. Now, I wasn't a White Sox fan, but I was really into watching it and stuff like that. So I went White Sox.
Sweet. I also like the big red C. That's the logo for the Indians. It's just if you look up on ESPN, it's all the logos. Indians just a big red C. It looks kind of cool. I don't know.
Well, it's because they can't shut too far.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I might get canceled for liking the Indians. All right. AL East.
Yeah. So I don't like any of the teams in the AL East, and I picked the team I actually feel completely neutral about this team. I think I feel negative about the others, and I picked the Orioles. I don't know. That's all I got.
Yeah, I wrote a question mark, so I'm gonna go right here off the dome. I'll cheer for the Rays. I live really close by.
That's not bad. That's got to be second. You can't go Yankees, Red Sox. You can't.
Yeah,
I could never cheer for Toronto. So you might as well go Rays. They play in a really weird, ugly stadium too.
Yeah, when I went to the Yankees game at Yankee Stadium, they played against the Blue Jays, and I was like, I don't even know who. I guess it was Jeter's last season, so that was cool. I got to see Jeter play in his last
That
season.
was cool.
But other than that, I'm like, I'm just here for the experience. I really don't care about either of these teams.
I got to see Jeter play. We went to a Reds Yankees game in Cincinnati. My friend Gene Merriman was in charge of buying the tickets, and it's like, Gene's in charge. He's gonna buy all the tickets, and then we'll just pay him back. And it was like sweet. And we get down there, and he's like handing out the tickets, and he thinks he got a great deal, and we found out why. They were for standing room only, so we didn't have a seat because when the Yankees are in town, they sell so many tickets that they also sell just be in the stadium and hang out tickets. And so for the first inning, we just sat in some tickets or in some seats until someone came and was like, "You're in our seats," and they were like, "Yeah, we are." So we left, and then we just kind of walked around and didn't watch much of the game.
They don't have like a grass area where you can go and sit at Great
No.
American.
No, there's like a plaza area with like bars. We kind of hung out in there and just walked around.
That's cool. I like sitting in the grass area of stadiums. Stadiums with like a lawn, I'm about. It's
So
usually
yeah,
minor league stadiums. Usually big league stadiums don't have that. But
yeah, the Indianapolis Indians have the lawn seats, and as a kid, that was super dope. But as an adult, I think sitting not in a proper chair would hurt my back.
oh yeah, it does. I did that at a jumbo shrimp game, and I had seats. I just went to go sit there because nostalgia. I was like,
Yeah.
I used to love sitting in the lawn. I went and sat there for a couple of minutes, and I'm like, oh, this is not great. Especially like I have seats like on third base. I'm just gonna go back and sit there again. Yeah.
I have a cup holder. It has like a backrest. Yeah.
It did. It was like the stadium there's pretty nice, and you can get like a ticket, on third base for like $7. So like on
Dude, I love
military appreciation days, they're like, "You're in the military," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, cool. Where do you want to sit? Because it's free. Because military appreciation day." And you're like, is there a restriction? Like, do I have to sit in a section? They're like, no, dude, just where do you want to sit? And I'm like, so I can sit like behind home plate. They're like, do you want to sit behind home plate, sir? And I'm like, well, no, but I can. They're like, yes. I made like the first time I did it, I was there way too long. I was like, I can sit anywhere.
I want you to tell me that I can if I want to.
Yeah. Yeah. And instead, I was like right past like the safety fence down the third baseline. I wanted to be right past it. And I like to get real close because they always and they always give like minor league games. They're all about like passing out stuff. So I like to get up close so I can catch a shirt or something. I have like 3 jerseys.
Do they just throw out breaded fried jumbo shrimp into the crowd?
Oh, that'd be even better.
That would be better.
I have jerseys, but neither of them are jumbo shrimp jerseys.
Yeah, but they're both super cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Like the Red Jacks or something.
Yeah. I'd like to maybe make it out there if we make it out there to visit someday, that'd be cool to catch a game.
Yeah, you should come during baseball season.
For sure.
It's a really cool stadium.
Ooh. When Jamie and I were home last year, we went to a Fort Wayne Tin Caps game, which is a single A. But it's single A, but it's like downtown Fort Wayne. It's like super nice stadium. It's one of those deals, and it was really fun.
That sounds fun. Yeah, I love stadiums.
Wait, you went Rays?
Yeah, sure.
But I think Rays, they have this weird AstroTurf. You know how like when you're vacuuming your carpet and like one way it'll look really light colored and one way it'll look dark?
Yeah.
Their AstroTurf does that. So in big patches, it's like dark. It's weird looking.
Maybe they vacuum their stadium.
Probably. So you want to do? So that's our favorite team. There you go.
Yeah. Boom.
We agreed on 2.
Yeah, it's a weird stadium. I agree. Really good. All right, cool.
You want to do the baseball stadiums we'd like to visit draft.
All right, let's do it. So we're doing 5.
Who wants to go first?
I don't know. Should we flip a coin or something?
Yeah. Do you have a coin?
I have this bottle cap from my beer.
All right, I'll take
You want paw print or nothing?
nothing.
I'm just gonna throw it on the floor. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I'll drop it. It's paw print.
Did you look? You didn't even look.
It was right. It landed on the computer.
You said you're gonna throw it on the floor.
All right, now it's nothing. All right,
All
go
right, do
first.
it one more time.
It's nothing again. You're good. You're up.
Okay. I knew that would pull through. I was suspicious. So this is actually, so we're doing top 5 stadiums we like to visit that we've never been to.
Yeah. I
Well, mine's easy. So I'm not even going to tell you. Number 1, Yankee Stadium for me.
All right, sweet. That's good.
That's just like being in, well, it's not anymore because it's this new Yankee Stadium that looks like the old Yankee Stadium, but still. I believe they preserved like a museum area where the old one was, and they have out front they have a park with all the old players, like busts and stuff about them.
Yeah.
It's obvious. You got to go to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. I went to the new one. I wanted to go to the old one, honestly. I thought that would have been way cooler, but I've been to the new one, and it's kind of cool because you're in like the Bronx, and it's like the Bronx, and then you cross the street and you're like in this, the white stadium with like it's super majestic looking.
Right. All the flags.
Yeah, all the flags, and you're in the Bronx still. You could like look across the street. It's a completely different scene.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
I definitely the area is super cool, and we had nosebleeds, but it was cool. We walked around most of the time anyway, so.
So I have a feeling another stadium will come up on this list, but I'll tell you about that too. How it was like you're walking down the road and you could you would never know if you turn the corner. It'd be like stadium. But all right, so you go next.
All right. My first pick, I'm gonna go with Wrigley. Never been there. Really want to go. Wish we could have gone that one time, but they were away. We had to go to the White Sox game instead. But we almost went to the Big Bean, so I guess that's better.
Yeah, we almost drove around the outside of the United Center, so
So
still better.
Yeah, I'd really like to go watch a Cubbies game at Wrigley. Yeah, that's it's iconic, and I really want to go there. So definitely book the stadium.
I went to a Reds Cubs game 2 years ago for a bachelor party weekend, and we rented a house and we stayed right across the parking lot where all the Cubs players parked. And so we just walked right into the stadium, and it was really cool. And there was we had a big group. I think 3 or 4 people in our group were in Cubs stuff, and the rest of us were Reds fans. And we walk into the stadium, and people are like, "Hey, welcome. How's it going?" They call it the friendly confines.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Hey, how's it going?" And there was this woman in the concession stand. She was waving. She's like, "Welcome, Cincinnati. Welcome to Chicago." And it was just because we had entered the stadium in our away team uniform. Everyone was super nice to us. The usher came up to us, this old lady, and she was like, "Welcome to Wrigley Field. Hey, did you guys know if you go outside section 115, you can get a certificate signed?" And me and my friend Gene did. It's my first Cubs game, and they put the name and the date, and it's Reds versus Cubs, and they say that, and then you can get your picture with it. And then at the end of the game, we went to the Bartman seat, which is no longer there. And I was talking with one of the ushers where it was, because they redid that section of seats, so it's not quite there anymore. But so I was standing where Steve Bartman was, and just I don't know, it was the Reds actually they blew a 3-run lead in the 8th inning, because of course they did. And that place, dude, it was a day game on a weekday, and the place was packed, and it was rocking. And when the Cubs took the lead, obviously it was depressing, but it was the energy in that stadium on a Tuesday at 2 p.m. was crazy. It's awesome. It was a good time. And then the whole Wrigleyville thing, there's just restaurants and bars, and it's just a party all night. And yeah, that's definitely a good pick.
Yeah, definitely want to go.
For sure.
We'll go. We'll meet up there again.
I'm down. It was good. Chicago's just cool too.
Yeah.
Wrigley Field is actually one of those. It's nestled in a neighborhood. It's not so like turn the corner, bang, there it is. But I mean, you get 2 blocks away and you can just see a couple houses.
My aforementioned neighbor friend here, he's actually from Chicago, and I was like, dude, whenever you go back, dude, I'm going to a game at Wrigley, and he's like, yeah, dude, let's go, and I'm like, okay, cool. So we should meet up. We should do a game at Wrigley. We have to do another trip
behind a pole.
Perfect. Yeah, I love that. Is that where you sat?
I was behind a pole for sure. If I did this, I was okay. But you can sit like right behind a pole. I don't know what those people do. Because the pole, I was behind a pole, but it was far enough away that it was like small.
Yeah, and you can sit up against the pole pretty much.
Yeah, you can just
that is a seat.
Yeah,
sweet.
But yeah,
right.
Yeah, we should do another. I don't know how with babies and such, but we need to do another road trip of sorts. We need to make it happen some way. Okay, I'll go next. Dodger Stadium is my number 2. It's like iconic. It's like oozes LA. It's just like the palm trees, and if you look at it facing the city, you can see downtown in the background, and those yellow bleachers with the outfield with the wavy roof. It's just like it's very like baseball, and it's very, in my mind, it's like baseball and it's California all in one, and it's just like that's another stadium that's always going to be packed and like fun, and the weather's going to be perfect, and it's like it just feels like a big deal.
Random celebrity there for no reason, like
yeah,
it's always just like a big.
I've never been there, but like if I go there, like a Wednesday night game on the middle of, and they're playing like nobody, it's just like feels like a thing, like an event, because you're at Dodger Stadium, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, I love watching the games with like the sun setting and like it's just an awesome stadium. I have that on my list too. I definitely want to go there, especially as a closet Dodgers fan.
As a longtime suffering Dodgers fan, you gotta go there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I'm gonna go with Miller Park as my second one. I really want to go to Miller.
On my list, dude. On my list.
I'm convinced though that there's a giant pipe with one valve at the end of it that connects the brewery to the stadium, and all the beer comes from this one pipe, and it's just the freshest Miller Lite you can get.
For people who don't know, the local brewery is is on one side of the highway, and then you just go on the other side of the highway. Miller Park's right there. Like you can see one from the other. So we're pretty sure there's just like a beer, like an 8-inch, 10-inch pipe with just like a single valve. They just open the valve, and then the stadium has beer, like fresh Miller Lite, dude. I love Miller Lite. It is so good.
No free ads.
Good point. Edit that out, dude.
We're getting paid for that.
Miller's coming to Miller. If I'm saying that, Miller's contacting me. You're right. Check that out. Their people can get
sponsored.
Their people can get in touch with our people, meaning me. And then, what's our Twitter? Meet at Coffee Pot.
Something like that. Yeah, we should probably learn that one so we could shout ourselves out.
Not to get away from topic, but when you do all your wonderful editing and before you send it off to the cloud to sleep, maybe when you put like episode whatever, you could like put up the Twitter handle or something too. It could all show up, and then
I'm gonna edit this part out too.
So. Yeah, this is totally inappropriate for anyone to hear. Okay, Miller Park, dude, perfect. They have a giant slide. They do weenie races. I'm stealing your thunder. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead, dude. I just not really want to go.
They race sausages. They have a sausage costume race. Like, I want to see
those guys are always. Yeah, I want to see that live too. Those guys are always like
home run. The Brewer mascot goes down like a 4-story slide. Like, what is going on there? It's awesome. Miller Park's on my list. Milwaukee's just cool too. Then you get to hang out in Milwaukee.
I want to go
to the New Orleans theme park.
I was about to say the same thing. I was like, I want to go to Milwaukee, go to a game, and then go try to find a basketball game. Try to find the Western Conference Finals in Milwaukee during a Brewers game. Good luck.
Tell you what, That town can get pretty sleepy around 11 p.m. You
What was-
really feel like you got the place to yourself.
How could we not find a Western Conference Finals in Milwaukee?
I
Like,
don't
everyone
know.
had the baseball game. That was ridiculous.
The crazy thing is, yeah, we found it at that first place where I got that one flight of beer. The guy was like, "We're closing." You guys were like, you guys are like the last two people. We're trying to go home, and we're like, "It's in the fourth quarter."
It was funny because we found it at the New Orleans themed bar that we walked into next, and I think it had something to do with it. But the bar was completely empty. It also was the only bar playing the Western Conference Finals. So everyone's like, who wants to watch that? I want to watch the 60-second game of, the baseball season.
We just canvassed the streets looking through windows to see if TVs had basketball. We're finally like, basketball we're getting inside. And then we walked in and it was like, welcome to New Orleans. Like, I don't know what's going on. It was like Mardi Gras beads or all. It was weird. But they had the game.
And Rumpelmans.
I won that bet. We bet something that I don't think we ever paid off for that. I was like, Golden State will come back and win this, and they did.
Was that the 3-1 lead?
Yes, it was.
Yikes. I don't know what I would bet either. But if you remember, I'll get you.
You bet me something, and we were probably drunk, so I don't know if it counts. Anyway.
Yeah, but we had the freshest breath.
All right. Yeah, dude. I didn't brush my teeth for a month after that.
That was when you drink a whole fifth of Rumpelmans one shot at a time.
Okay, my next one, I talked about earlier, Petco Park in San Diego, and it's mostly because Mendoza talked about it. I think it's called the Gas Lamp or the Gaslight District. The area it's in, it's like all super cool, and it's downtown, and the ocean breeze is coming off, and again, it's perfect weather, and you're in San Diego, and it's cool, and now the Padres are cool, and I think, it'd be a good time to go to a game there.
You can watch Manny.
You sure can.
That's cool.
Trevor Hoffman from 1999.
All right. My turn. Cool. I want to go, and this is mostly because I want to go to Canada and watch a baseball game in Canada, but I want to go to the Rogers Center. I think going to a baseball game in Toronto, I want to go for the experience. I think it'd be, I don't know, I just feel like it would be different than watching a baseball game here, and I'm not sure why, but I feel that Canadians just watch sports differently, and I want to go to the stadium and see what it's like.
I don't know why.
Also, I think Toronto would probably be cool. I don't know.
It is.
I feel like the city's cool.
I'm sure it is. Any big international cities like that, it's pretty cool, but the Rogers Center has that hotel in like right field that's like attached, and you can go onto the balcony of your hotel and then you can watch the game.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I guess
that would be cool. That'd be an experience.
Yeah, we should get a room there and then just like drink Labatt Blues and sit on the balcony.
Yeah, we can get Tim Hortons. We can get Tim Hortons when we wake up. We can get a pack of Labatt and finish it with some Molson. And
sit on the balcony and watch them play whoever they're playing.
Probably the Rays.
All right, I'm in. It's a plan. Let's go.
I kind of went to Canada a couple times, but I've never really been to Canada, so I'd like to do that. Yeah.
We should do eventually when we're super famous and pretty much get paid to do sports things like this. We should, one of our little sports road trips, we should do like a Canadian one where we like go, watch some Canadian football,
that would be cool.
Watch the Jays play or something, stuff like that.
We can go to like an actual
rugby,
NHL
lacrosse.
game.
I don't know what else to do. Yeah.
In Canada.
Yeah, we should do a Canadian trip. That'd be cool.
I'm in. I've always said I want to go to Winnipeg, and I don't know why. But it's on the list now. I don't know why. Okay. I'm next. So this is my fourth pick. So Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
Nice.
I don't like the Cardinals. I actually dislike the Cardinals. However, ever since they kind of have this reputation of being like the goody two shoes, like Midwestern, like baseball the right way kind of thing. But like, I think they're dirty, rotten cheaters, and I don't like them. And Yadier, you can look it up, people. Yadier Molina had so much stickum on his chest plate. Their catcher, the catcher for the Cardinals, he had so much stickum that when the pitcher threw the ball and it hit the dirt and he missed it, he couldn't find the ball. He couldn't find the ball. It was sticking. It was sticking to the middle of his chest. It was sticking there, and everyone was just like, "Oh, the Cardinals." It was against the Reds, of course, and they didn't get in trouble or anything. And didn't quit. However, Busch Stadium, it's like, it's not. It's kind of like a Yankee Stadium thing. They tore down the old one and they made the new one kind of like the old one. So it's the new one, and I've heard really good things about it. And St. Louis is a cool town, and I would really like to watch the Reds play in Busch Stadium against the Cardinals. It's pretty like, it's like a classic baseball city, and any time you watch a Cardinals games on TV, the announcers are like, these fans, fans in other cities, they're just kind of there for the time, but these fans really know the game. They're really smart fans, and they're really into it. I think there's some truth to that. So it'd be kind of cool to go to there's like the old men keeping score on the score sheet from the newspaper and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
I agree. All right. I had that one on my list, by the way. I think it'd be cool. Also, I like stadiums named after beer.
Me too.
Beer-owned stadiums are probably a good time.
Yeah.
All right, this one, I figured it'd still be here, so I just skipped it a couple times. But I haven't been to Fenway, and I really want to go to Fenway. I also really want to go to Boston in general. I think I'd enjoy the city. I've never been there before. I've done most of the rest of the northeast region of the United States, but I've never been to Fenway, and I've never been to Boston, and I don't know, it's just another one of those classics that I feel like I have to go to as I consider myself a pretty big sports guy, and like that's one of those stadiums that I have to go to before they tear it down.
Yeah, dude. So first note on Boston. I have been to Boston. It's amazing, and it's super cool, and they painted a red line on the sidewalk. It's called the Freedom Trail. And if you just walk on the red line, if you just get on the red line at any point and you just keep walking on the red line, it takes you to all these super cool historic places. It takes you to Paul Revere's house. It takes you to the Old North Church of the famous poem, "With the British are coming, the British are coming." It takes you to where the Battle of Bunker Hill was. It takes you to the site of the Boston Massacre. It's like this mind-boggling amount of like American history, and it's like all right there. It's like all downtown Boston, and it's super cool. It's a cool town. I have been to Fenway Park. When we took a family vacation in 2007 to New England, my sister and I each got to pick one thing that like we want to do for no matter what. And I was like, I want to go to a Red Sox game. So they were like, boom, let's make it happen. So my dad and I went to a Red Sox game against the Rockies in 2007. And Fenway Park is the one I referenced earlier where I thought it'd come up because it has to be on the list if you haven't been there. And it is so small, dude. It is so freaking small. First of all,
that's why they have the Green Monster, right? Because if not, everyone would just be blasting him into like the next block.
Exactly. And on TV, I feel like on TV you know that, but when you're there, you're like, oh, the grounds of the thing are so small. And it's kind of into the ground a little bit. So, like, that's the one where, like, you literally could be one house away from it. And you would not think there's a baseball stadium there. Even just, like, you just wouldn't think there's enough space over there. Like, how is there a Major League Baseball stadium over there? So, yeah, it was cool. It was freezing cold. And I remember the Rockies won 12-2, and the Boston fans were pissed, so they just started shouting, "The Yankees suck," and I thought that was pretty entertaining.
That's funny too. I like how they're just like, "Screw it." It might not be able to be the Rockies, but the Yankees suck.
The Yankees still suck. Yeah, that was cool.
I don't know how this works or if it ever will happen, but I think I have time before they tear down Fenway, just because where it's at. I've obviously walked through Boston on Google Maps, but where it's at, like I don't know where else they would build it, because they can't expand it. It's where it's at, and that's all they got. Like there's a
They
street there.
probably, if they, for some reason, honestly, if the Red Sox had to leave, they'd probably go down to Foxborough.
That's what I was thinking. Like that's which I
Which
think
would
would
just
be
be sad.
gross. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Fenway
So I think
Park.
I've got time.
Gotta be on the
Definitely
list.
want to go there.
All right, I have one left, and this is actually tough because I thought I have 2 honorable mentions, and I thought I might have to use them both because other stuff on my list would be gone. But I'm gonna go. I didn't know what it was called because it just changed sponsorship. It was called Oracle Park now. It's where the Giants play.
Damn it, I had that one. That was my next one.
That's
Dude.
like it used to be called AT&T Stadium. That's what I knew it as. The big Coke bottle, the big glove in the outfield. It's on the water. It's on McCovey Cove. They have that brick wall in right field. It's like in one of the most gorgeous cities. It's one of the most gorgeous ballparks, and it's like just looks like a really nice place to be to enjoy a baseball game.
No, you're good. I had it on there. I like the whole. I want to go there, but I also want to go and just like kayak in the water and wait for a ball to come to me. That sounds awesome.
You see
Like
the
just
guy
watch
did that the other day?
That sounds cool.
Carl Yastrzemski's grandson hit his first ever home run, and this guy kayaked over it, and he dove out of his kayak, and he got the first ever ball hit by this Hall of Famer's grandson.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had that one. That was actually my last one of my ones that I had on my list, but I'll go with my last honorable mention for my last pick. And this is less the stadium and more the people, but I really want to go to Citizens Bank Park where the Phillies play. And here's the thing, I went to an Eagles game
Yeah, you did.
when the Rams were there, and those people are insane. And I hear the baseball fans are just as crazy, and I love that. Like people who are just passionate about the sport and like about the sports team, I'm all for it. So, you know, if I could go and experience like true Philadelphia sports fans, you know, I really want to go here either way. But I think like going in like October or something, that would be just.
They're a different breed, man.
It's so insane.
They're wild.
Yeah.
They're like, I would obviously go, and I would wear my team's colors anywhere. But like,
Yeah, absolutely.
they got to be up there on like intimidating fan bases. Like you got to walk into it knowing like it's gonna be a long day for me either way type deal.
Either way.
Yeah. Like I went to, you know, I've been the away guy everywhere because I don't live anywhere near my teams, and most people are just kind of nice and stuff like that. But like I wouldn't expect that walking into Philadelphia.
This is actually weird, but this is, you know, I'm mostly a football fan more than anything else, but I've been to one Rams home game at the Coliseum, and I didn't find it as exciting as all the other games I've been to. You know, I've watched them play in Arizona a couple times. I watched them play twice in Seattle. I've seen them play in Jacksonville, and I've seen them play in Philadelphia. And yeah, I like being the away guy. Like I think it's more exciting. You get to interact more with the fan base more.
Yeah.
Everyone just being like happy together or sad together, which is what happened because we lost to the Cardinals. But I don't know.
It'll get better in LA when they get their new stadium and they get,
which is insane, by the way.
I know, but it was like, yeah, the Coliseum. That was a good little temporary home, but it'll get better when they get their own deal going on.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I want to mention my last honorable mention because I've been here and I've walked around the stadium. I've checked out the whole area, and I ate a burger place right next door. I almost feel like I don't really need to go in that much, but it's in a gorgeous setting, PNC Park in Pittsburgh. And you sit out there and you look out an outfield, and there's all the bridges and the river and the downtown, and it's like gorgeous. And it's actually it's a small stadium. It's like one of the smallest seating stadiums, so it's like more of an intimate thing. And I don't like the Pirates by any means, but I think it would be cool to. Pittsburgh's just a cool town. We talked about it in our podcast last week that's gone forever, so I won't reference that. But
I like the way they mow their lawn.
yeah,
PNC Park. If you like just Google images PNC Park and you just scroll through, like all of them are super cool. They have somewhere like they have the big P in center field. That looks really cool,
oh
and they have
yeah,
like the checkered lines like in the outfield. Like PNC Park just looks cool,
oh
especially with the
yeah,
backdrop going on.
yeah. That big yellow bridge, and
Yeah,
that's a good.
I was like,
Oh yeah, look at that, the big P. That's cool.
yeah, I like it too. I wouldn't mind going there. Pittsburgh was actually the first live baseball game I ever went to. Fun fact. Well, professional baseball game I went to. I watched them play at Chase Field.
Oh yeah. Chase
Back
Field
then,
is like uninspiring.
it was Bankwell Ballpark.
What was it before that building was built?
I have no idea. No clue.
I don't know. I don't know like anything about the Diamondbacks.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just feel like they're one of the most. Okay, not that I don't know stuff about them. I feel like they're one of the most forgettable franchises to me. Like I never think about the Diamondbacks,
Yeah, fair enough.
and they never cross my radar. Phoenix teams are so weird because Phoenix is so big, but the teams are so like nondescript.
Yeah, people just don't care. Which
Like,
I think
don't know a Suns. I don't know a Suns fan. I don't know a Cardinals fan. I don't know a Diamondbacks fan except maybe Marina, and I don't know a Coyotes fan. That's for sure.
I do know them, but I think it's only because I lived in Arizona my whole life. You know,
Yeah,
I grew up there, so like you're bound to find some fans. But I agree, like like every other team, like literally every other team you go and you'll be like you'll find a fan in a different city, and Arizona fans like you're not gonna find them.
Yeah, it's weird.
You're not gonna find them anywhere else.
Yeah, it's a weird deal. Well, I guess that wraps it up.
Pretty good. Hopefully we don't lose this one. Hopefully it's in my computer, not in the cloud. Who knows how to get out of there?
And again, if anyone check your cloud when you get home, people, and just look behind the curtain and see if it. I don't know where it went, but it's not gone. It's missing. So
I honestly don't even know where I keep my cloud in my house. So
I think it's more like ransom. Actually, I think Zoom is holding it ransom.
I think so. I think I need to pay $15 a month, and they'll probably give it to me.
That's a little steep.
Yeah, we'll just make another bad episode.